In the world of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, power belongs to whoever holds the dragons. However, these magical beasts recognize only the blood of Old Valyria. The Targaryens use the High Valyrian language to train and control them. But at some point, we have all wondered, which of these dragons is truly the most powerful? Is it Aegon the Conqueror's Balerion? Is it Daenerys' Drogon? Or is the Cannibal the most powerful of them all? Today, we are going to find out, so let us begin this list. Number 10, Dreamfyre. Born during the time of Aegon the Conqueror, this she-dragon bound with Princess Rhaena Targaryen. Rhaena Targaryen was the granddaughter of Aegon the Conqueror. Rhaena used to fly with Dreamfyre frequently. In 73 AC, when Rhaena Targaryen passed away at Harrenhal, Dreamfyre was brought to the Dragon Pit in King's Landing. There, nearly 36 years later, Dreamfyre bound with Helaena Targaryen, the daughter of Viserys and half-sister of Rhaenyra. In the House of the Dragon show, we are never shown Helaena riding her dragon, but in the books, after the tragic death of her son, Helaena stopped riding Dreamfyre altogether, and Helaena was the final rider of Dreamfyre. On top of that, the books mention that Dreamfyre's eggs were stolen when Rhaena Targaryen's friend, Elissa Farman, fled Dragonstone with 3 of her eggs. These are the very same eggs that roughly 250 years later, Illyrio Mercatus gifted to Daenerys Targaryen, and from those eggs, Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal hatched. Number 9, Seasmoke. This silver-grey dragon bound with Laenor Velaryon during its youth. Seasmoke was Laenor's pride, but when Laenor left everything behind, his dragon, Seasmoke remained riderless for a long time. During the Dance of the Dragons, when Prince Jacaerys Velaryon was searching for new dragon riders for the Blacks, Seasmoke incinerated Sir Steffon Darklyn in an unsuccessful bonding attempt. But eventually, he bound with Adam of Hull, one of the bastard sons of Lord Corlys Velaryon. This dragon had previously served the Targaryens when Laenor rode him to aid Daemon in the War of the Stepstones. And during the Dance of the Dragons, Seasmoke proved invaluable. In the Battle of the Gullet, the Fall of King's Landing, and the Battle of Tumbleton. Number 8, Sheepstealer. A mud-brown dragon with a massive appetite for mutton, which is exactly how he got his name. For 50 years, no one could claim this greedy dragon. During the Dance of the Dragons, when Prince Jacaerys Velaryon was searching for dragon riders, Sheepstealer refused to bond with anyone, but a young girl named Nettles found a way to win him over. Every single morning, she brought him a sheep, and over time, Sheepstealer allowed Nettles to ride him. In the House of the Dragon show, instead of Nettles, we see Rhaena Targaryen, the daughter of Daemon and his late wife, Lady Laena Velaryon, encountering Sheepstealer. Sheepstealer participates on the side of the Blacks in the Battle of the Gullet, the capture of King's Landing, and is later sent to hunt down Aemond and Vhagar. While many dragons perished by the end of the Dance of the Dragons, there was never any report of Sheepstealer's death. Number 7, Meleys. This she-dragon is famously known as the Red Queen. She was one of the swiftest dragons in Westeros, flying even faster than Caraxes and Vhagar, but she found her rider much later. Princess Alyssa Targaryen, daughter of King Jaehaerys and Queen Alysanne, claimed Meleys after her wedding. Alyssa was so attached to Meleys that when her son Viserys was born, she bound the 9-day-old baby to her chest and took him into the sky. Later, when Daemon was born, she took him flying on the very day of his birth, after Alyssa passed away. Meleys remained riderless. However, 3 years later, Princess Rhaenys claimed Meleys. Rhaenys was also deeply attached to her dragon, even making her grand entrance at her wedding on the back of Meleys. During the early stages of the Dance of the Dragons, when Rhaenys sided with Rhaenyra, she and her dragon provided the primary aerial protection over the Gullet. Later, at the Battle of Rook's Rest, when Criston Cole marched with his men for the Greens, Rhaenys arrived with Meleys. Her dragon incinerated 800 of the Green soldiers, but this was Criston Cole's trap. Vhagar and Sunfire launched a surprise attack. Rhaenys and Meleys put up a formidable fight against both dragons, but when the 3 dragons clashed and crashed to the ground, only Vhagar and her rider, Aemond, walked away standing. Yet, even in death, Meleys left the Greens leader and his golden dragon severely maimed. Number 6, Caraxes. This dragon is known as the Blood Wyrm because he was massive, fiercely red, and incredibly slender. As he aged, he also became highly cunning. At birth, this dragon bound with Prince Aemond Targaryen, the son of Jaehaerys and Alysanne. Alongside Aemond, Caraxes participated in the Fourth Dornish War. After Aemond passed away, the rogue prince, Daemon Targaryen, claimed Caraxes. Daemon rode Caraxes in the war for the Stepstones and secured victory. When the Dance of the Dragons erupted, Caraxes was one of the few dragons with real combat experience. He first led the assault on Harrenhal, and later, Daemon rode him to hunt down Aemond and Vhagar. On top of that, Caraxes and Rhaenyra's dragon, Syrax, produced several clutches of eggs together. Number 5, Vermithor. Due to his striking bronze coloration, he is famously known as the Bronze Fury. He was the largest dragon after Balerion and Vhagar. While he looked incredibly terrifying, he was actually one of the most tolerant Targaryen dragons, willing to accept new riders with relative ease. Vermithor's egg was placed in the cradle of Prince Jaehaerys, and the two later formed a powerful bond. Jaehaerys Targaryen ascended the Iron Throne at a very young age. Whenever lords refused to listen to him, He would simply introduce them to his dragon before graciously pardoning them. Jaehaerys rode Vermithor in the Third Dornish War, putting down rebels. When the Fourth Dornish War broke out, Jaehaerys, along with his 2 sons and 3 dragons, ended the entire war in a single day. Following Jaehaerys' death in his old age, Vermithor remained riderless for a long time. During the Dance of the Dragons, after incinerating several Targaryen bastards, Vermithor finally accepted Hugh Hammer as his rider. Hugh rode him for Rhaenyra in the Battle of the Gullet and the fall of King's Landing. Vermithor was the mount of a great king whose reign lasted for decades, which always filled Hugh Hammer with immense pride. Vermithor also shared a deep bond with Queen Alysanne's dragon, Silverwing, who was later claimed by Ulf the White. Number 4. Drogon, the most aggressive of Daenerys Targaryen's 3 dragons and one who preferred the open wild. Controlling this beast was incredibly difficult, even for Daenerys, but looking at him, many believed that Balerion the Black Dread had been reborn. This dragon saved Daenerys not only on the battlefield, but also in magical realms like the House of the Undying. Whenever Daenerys felt rage, Drogon felt it too. When Daenerys' dragons began harming innocent people, she ordered them locked away in the catacombs, while Viserion and Rhaegal complied. Drogon refused, flying away into the open skies. This freedom allowed him to grow much larger than his brothers. When Daenerys was attacked in Daznak's pit, Drogon arrived to defend her, and when Drogon was wounded, Daenerys felt his pain. Drogon grew at an impressive rate, carrying Daenerys on his back when he was only 1 year old. On top of that, due to the presence of the Red Comet, magic was exceptionally strong during Daenerys' time, which allowed Drogon to grow continuously larger. Number 3. Meraxes, ridden by Rhaenys Targaryen, the sister wife of Aegon the Conqueror. Meraxes was one of the 3 dragons used to conquer Westeros. She was larger than Vhagar, but smaller than Balerion, capable of swallowing a horse whole. Her egg hatched on Dragonstone, and after forming a bond with Rhaenys, the two spent most of their time in the sky. When Aegon's conquest began, Rhaenys and Meraxes led the assault against the army of Argilac the Arrogant. During the Field of Fire, she joined Vhagar and Balerion in a devastating aerial assault, destroying the power of House Gardner. But when Rhaenys flew to conquer Dorne, she found it empty, save for the 80-year-old princess of Dorne, Meria Martell, who declared that she would never bow. This triggered the First Dornish War. Rhaenys rode Meraxes to burn Dornish towns, but 6 years into the war, a stray scorpion bolt struck Meraxes directly in the eye at Hellholt, bringing the dragon and Princess Rhaenys crashing to their deaths. Number 2. Vhagar. This dragon has witnessed more combat than any other in history. A battle-hardened she-dragon. She hatched on Dragonstone. She was later claimed by Visenya Targaryen, the other sister wife of Aegon the Conqueror. At the start of the conquest, Visenya rode Vhagar to capture Stokeworth. Following this, they participated in the Battle of Dulltown, where Vhagar easily incinerated the Arryn fleet. Following subsequent battles, Visenya flew Vhagar to the Vale alone, landing in the courtyard of the Eyrie, where she met the Queen Regent, Shara Arryn, and her young son. The young king wanted to ride the dragon, and his mother, unable to refuse, knelt before Visenya. Visenya took the young king Ronel Arryn for a flight on Vhagar, but when they landed, young Ronel was no longer a king, but a lord later. When Rhaenys was killed in the First Dornish War, Visenya on Vhagar and Aegon on Balerion burned every Dornish stronghold to ash. 29 years after Visenya passed away in her old age, Prince Balon, the brave son of King Jaehaerys, claimed Vhagar. Together, they fought in the Fourth Dornish War. Following Prince Balon's death, Lady Laena Velaryon claimed Vhagar at just 11 years of age. Laena loved to fly, so much so that even in her dying moments, she dragged herself to Vhagar. Following Laena's funeral, the young Prince Aemond Targaryen claimed the legendary beast. During the Dance of the Dragons, Vhagar claimed the first dragon kill of the war, tearing apart Prince Lucerys Velaryon and his young dragon, Caraxes. By the time of the dance, Vhagar had grown colossal, nearly reaching the size of Balerion. No living dragon could match her scale. While the other dragons struggled in the war, Vhagar seemed to thrive in the conflict. After surviving countless battles, this ancient dragon fought until her death. At the age of 181, special mention, the Cannibal. Now, before we reveal number 1, I want to give a special mention to the Cannibal. Every other dragon on this list was successfully tamed, but the Cannibal was a beast that could never be claimed. He was one of the 3 wild dragons on Dragonstone, and rumors suggest he was already on the island long before the Targaryens arrived from Valyria, as one of the oldest living dragons in Westeros, and true to his name, he was notorious for feeding on younger dragons and eggs. He was one of the few dragons to survive the Dance of the Dragons, but he vanished shortly after the war, never to be seen again. Number 1. Balerion the Black Dread. Ridden by King Aegon the Conqueror, he was one of the 5 original dragons brought from Valyria by Aemond Targaryen. By the time of Aegon's conquest, he was the only surviving dragon who had actually been born in Valyria. While Vhagar and Meraxes hatched on Dragonstone, Balerion had witnessed the true glory of the freehold before conquering Westeros. Aegon rode Balerion to aid Pentos and the Free Cities, fighting on their behalf to bring peace to Essos. Then, Aegon turned his gaze toward Westeros, launching his conquest alongside his sister wives and their dragons. Balerion was far larger than the dragons of Aegon's sisters. His shadow was said to be so vast, it could swallow entire towns in darkness. Aegon used Balerion's devastating heat to melt the formidable fortress of Harrenhal into ash. In battle, his fire was so intense that only swords survived the heat. Anyone who faced Balerion chose to surrender and lay down their arms. Those very swords, melted by Balerion's breath, were used to forge the Iron Throne following the tragic death of Rhaenys. Aegon rode Balerion to lay waste to dawn, burning stronghold after stronghold. Even after securing his grip on Westeros, Aegon faced no open rebellions during his lifetime because no one was foolish enough to defy the Black Dread. While other dragons were highly dangerous, Balerion was a beast on an entirely different level. After Aegon's death, his youngest son, Maegor the Cruel, claimed Balerion. Long before the Dance of the Dragons, Maegor and Balerion secured the first recorded dragon-on-dragon kill. In the battle beneath the God's Eye, Maegor rode Balerion to destroy his nephew Aegon and his dragon Quicksilver. Following Maegor's demise, Princess Aeria Targaryen, daughter of Princess Rhaena, claimed the Black Dread. She flew off with him, vanishing for a year. One day, Balerion returned to King's Landing, bearing Aeria's fever-ravaged body on his back. She passed away shortly after, shockingly. Balerion himself bore a 9-foot-long wound, alongside several other fresh scars. Following this incident, the dragon was kept confined inside the dragon pit. Some Septons believed that Aeria lost control of the beast and Balerion took her to his ancient ruined homeland, the ruins of Old Valyria. Following Aeria, Balerion's final rider was King Viserys Targaryen, but by then, at over 200 years of age, the Black Dread was so old and heavy he could barely lift himself off the ground. He managed to fly Viserys around King's Landing only 3 times, and though Viserys wished to fly him to Dragonstone, the ancient beast simply lacked the strength. Within a year, Balerion passed away. It is said that Drogon is growing so rapidly that one day he may match the scale of Balerion himself.